Hello and welcome to my channel. Hello, welcome back. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening from whichever part of the world you're watching this video from. Um, Today, I want to make this video to address the issue of reconciliation and reconnection. Um, Recently, I had a conversation with somebody. Oftentimes, what I discuss is maybe things that happen to me, maybe a conversation that I have with people or something that comes up. I feel like I need to address it, and it has to do with this idea that people have most times that when you have maybe a fallout with somebody, you have an issue with somebody, be it a friend, a family, or whoever, colleague, or something. You have something with somebody, and then somewhere along the line trust is broken, relationship is messed up, and then it happens that there's reconciliation happens. People expect that because you go into reconciliation, there's forgiveness that took place somewhere along the line and everything, that you must have to go back to the way you used to be. For instance, you have a friend, and maybe somewhere along the line, maybe trust was broken, something happened. Of course, things happen, and then relationship is no longer what it used to be. There was maybe there's a problem somewhere along the line, and somehow maybe you stop talking, you stop getting connected the way you used to be, and then suddenly, maybe out of your own initiative, or maybe some people initiated it and feel like there is need for you to talk about what happened, and there is need for you to, you know, come up with a reconciliation plan, or to come up with a reconciliation, and then try to sort whatever it is or it was that happened between the two of you, as the case may be. Some people are of this opinion that when you sit, have such a conversation with somebody, you come to that time, that point that where you reconcile, again, that once that reconciliation has taken place, that you need to go back to exactly the way you used to be. Like, if it were like maybe very close friendship, that the friendship needs to go back to the way it used to be. And somebody recently told me that if you truly forgive somebody and then reconcile, settle whatever it was that was going on between you and that individual, that the only way you can show that you have truly done that is for you to go back to being the way you used to be. And I tend to disagree with that. I disagree with that totally. I do not believe that because you reconcile with somebody, or because you forgive somebody of a wrongdoing, that you must go back to be the way you used to be with that individual. I totally do not believe that. I am not an advocate of that. Don't get me wrong. I'm an advocate of peace. I am a great advocate for forgiveness. I'm a great advocate for reconciliation. But one thing I disagree totally with is for the fact that I reconciled with you, I forgave you of something you did wrong to me, does not automatically translate to me being exactly the way I used to be. Let's assume it's somebody that I was really, really very close to, maybe a very close friend that was really very close to me at some point, and then maybe after some years, after some time, something happened in the relationship, trust was broken, an issue happened that we have to go our separate ways. You know, considering what it was that brought about the um the situation that caused us to break that relationship momentarily, considering it, most times the situation that brought about the problem is enough for me to keep me away from that individual, irrespective of the fact that I have forgiven and I have reconciled. Let's assume that maybe because of that particular incident, I was not in talking terms with that individual. Let me just say, put it that way. Maybe we're not talking, we cut all ties, and then maybe somewhere along the line, reconciliation took place. I can still be friendly with you, but I'm not an advocate that we must go back to be friends again. There's a huge difference between being friends and being friendly. I can be friendly with somebody, but without being friends with you. Because the truth about it, for me, I always say it takes years to build trust. It takes a second to lose it. That is a discussion for another day. I'm going to make a video on that way. I'm going to talk about that extensively. But the point I'm trying to make here is that people are always of this opinion that, oh, if you truly say you have forgiven somebody, you must go back to the way you used to be, because if you don't go back to the way you used to be, that means you have not really forgiven. Somebody recently told me that if you don't, I said no, I do not believe that. I do not believe that. I believe that I am strongly believe that there is a time that a relationship goes sour, and there must be a top point in time where everybody needs to go their separate ways. Go their separate ways. Probably that relationship has served its purpose for that period in time. Something happened. I believe so much in reconciliation. I believe so much in forgiveness. You offend me, and for some reason we ask for forgiveness, or we have opportunity to talk about it. I'll forgive you. But most times it doesn't necessarily mean that I have to come back to be the way I used to be with you again, because the truth about it is this. I made a video on this before, and I'm saying it again. I don't believe that people change. I say this all the time in this my YouTube channel. I think I say this all the time. I don't believe that people change, because the truth about it is that that particular situation that brought about that thing, whatever it was that caused that problem at that point in time, for the fact that you have reconciled, for the fact that you have talked about it, forgiven each other, does not mean that the tendency for that thing to repeat again is not there. The other point is that, there are some relationships that are not just healthy, that are just not healthy, and you try to manage it, and you try to manage and you try to manage it. Considering everything that happened, there comes a time where you can decide to end that relationship, without actually having grudges against somebody, or having this bad blood or something. I don't know the right word to use concerning that individual. As long as I don't have anything against you, as long as I don't have grudges against you, as long as I don't think evil about you, but the point remains that I may not be able to bring you as close as I used to bring you before, based on what happened before, based on situations around. I feel like at this point, I forgive you. Everything is gone now. I've forgotten the pain. I talked about it, whatever it was. Maybe it's hurt, betrayal, whatever it may be. I've forgiven you, but hey, I need to keep you at bay. You need to stay a little bit far away from me. We see such things happen even in marriages, That's why oftentimes you see that when some couples will divorce, they will still be friends, or kind of be friendly, but they can never bring themselves to live together again as a couple, as a husband or wife. But they are very much in good terms. Sometimes that's why you see sometimes people that are still very much, in a very good relationship with their exes, maybe it's ex-boyfriend, ex-girlfriend, ex-husband or something. They are still in very good terms with them, but they can never be together again, because that reconciliation, whatever it was, they separated, but they can never, because I forgave an ex of what they did to me, doesn't necessarily translate to me coming back to be with you again. Like, I don't know, I believe somebody's getting the point that I'm trying to make here, because sometimes people are always of this opinion that if you reconcile with somebody, if you forgive, okay, if you've forgiven me, can we be friends again? It doesn't necessarily mean that we have to be friends again. It doesn't necessarily mean that we have to be friends again. I forgive you, but at this point in time, you need to move on. I need to move on. We can still remain friendly. When it's time, if we have opportunity to talk, we talk. But that closeness may never be there again. May never be there again. Because the truth about it is that particular thing that caused that problem, or that is always causing that problem in that relationship, has not gone. If you come back again, there is the tendency for it to be even worse. So I believe that there comes a time in the life of every relationship that people need to go their separate ways. That does not mean that you hate them. that does not mean that you have grudges or anything, but it simply means that the time that relationship has served its purpose at that point in time and it needs to go. So, in a nutshell, what I'm trying to say, this is just going to be a very short video. You know, I just want to put my thought there. You can just say what you think, whatever it's your opinion concerning this. Do you believe that once you go into reconciliation or once you forgive somebody of what that person did to you, that you have to go back to be the way you used to be before? Honestly speaking, I see it this thing as maybe I can use this simple analogy. It's like you get a plain sheet of paper. Okay, let me just try to remind me. I'm in the office right now, so let me just take out this paper and just try to tell you what I mean. This is a printing paper, right? Plain paper. If you see this paper, it's perfect, it's clean, everything is good. You can write on it without any disturbance, any part of it. But at any point something causes this paper to go this way, there's a crack in it. No matter how you use tape to put this together, you use tape to put it together, it can never be the same again. Never. So trying to make it look exactly the way it was before this crack comes is a waste of time. It's simply a waste of time. This is the way I see it. And that's why I always tell people, if you value relationships, please do everything to preserve it. If you value somebody's friendship, do everything to preserve it. Because once you put a dent to it, there is the possibility that it can never come back to the way it used to be. Like I said before, I am an advocate of peace. I'm an advocate of reconciliation. I am a very strong advocate of forgiveness. But because I've forgiven you of something you did to me, does not mean I have to be dining and whining with you. So basically what I'm talking about is, just want to address this issue about reconciliation and reconnection. People feel like once you reconcile, you must reconnect. That is not true. Once you forgive, you must go back to where you must be friends again. No, I don't believe it. That is my own personal opinion. And like I said, this is a very short video. That is just my thought. That conversation just came up yesterday and I feel like I need to just address it. What do you think? Do you really believe that once you reconcile with somebody, you must go back to the way you used to be? As usual, whatever is your thoughts, just do me a favor. Put it at the comment section. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.